I just moved into this new place, this house that I'm renting. Very, very, very excited about it. I have the biggest studio space that I've ever had. Well, when I was at the Ravenswood Atelier, I shared a studio space. It's bigger than that. And then the model room that they had is like way larger than this place. But so for my own personal studio, this is really great, and I'm really excited to get to work here. Today's going to be my first day breaking in the studio with painting. I've set it all up with how I think it's going to work, but I'm sure the more I work, like, things will just be in flux as I get it to work better for how I need it to. So when we were looking for places, my big thing is that I wanted a studio with north-facing light. This place, I have windows over there that are pretty north. They're not true north, but they're pretty close. So that's where I'll make my setups that I want to work from life will be there. I have these windows, a wall of windows right in front of me that are not north-facing light, but it's great. There's like a porch covering that goes like a bit beyond, so I don't have direct light coming in, which is what you don't want, because you don't want like direct light hitting your painting, so you don't like have harsh shadows, and you don't want like the light moving around too much. So it's a pretty ideal setup, I think, so far, without having worked in here yet. Yeah, so I'm gonna show my studio right now. Yeah. This is my salon style wall for my paintings and drawings that are available. I like that I can have all my paintings right by each other, so when I'm working on stuff I can compare to what I've already done. I find that super helpful. So I've got my studio this way. This painting right here is flipped around because I'm not ready to share it yet. It's definitely a work in progress. There's so much room that I can step back from this painting, as you can see. Yeah, it's a very wide space, which is great. The room that I was in before for my studio in my other apartment was a fairly small, well, a small studio to work in, but it was meant to be a bedroom. So it's interesting seeing this painting and being able to step so far back from it. I can see a lot more. It's very helpful for me to see compositional flaws that I wasn't catching because I wasn't able to step back as far as I wanted to. So that's interesting. So things in that painting are getting changed. And so these windows, they're not north facing. So this one, though, I'm not strictly working from life, so that is absolutely fine. I've got my rolling cart that I got from IKEA that I keep my palette on that I work from. This is just a tripod stand for shooting YouTube videos. I've got my brushes that these, from moving, they all got a bit unorganized. More brushes. Got the strange egg bricks that I like to use sometimes, and the super wide brushes. These are more my soft brushes that need to get organized. My paints, which are usually laid out a little better. And I've got my paint crusher, which is great for squeezing all the paint out of the tube. I've got this drawer, tools that I use to, while I'm making the painting, all my cool special tools. And then these are tools that I use to like actually construct stretcher bars and that type of thing. Got a wheel so I can take this wherever I want. So cool, I have a fireplace in my studio, which is actually, it's gonna be 100 degrees today. So definitely not using the fireplace today. So on this wall fits perfect my Solomon J. Solomon master copy of Samson and Delilah. Didn't really work on it a lot last year. I only worked on it a couple times, so I'm going to try and work on it once every week so I can get this guy finished. This, which I'll probably talk about in a different video, but it's a commission that I'm working on, so this is just a study of the composition that the guy that's commissioning it can approve, and then I can start the painting. So I'll be talking to him soon. I've got these crates. These crates here, they were in a painting, and I decided to use them for shelving. So I've got all my art books here, which I love to have on hand because I'm always taking them out and referencing. Art books are such an addiction for me. Can't spend too much money on art books. Oh, who's drawing that? That's the painting that was flipped over. This is a reference of a facial expression that I'm using in that painting. And then on the side of Samson, more crates. These are my drawing tools. These are all different references. These are references for another painting that I'm gonna show you the back of, not the front, because I'm not ready for that yet. So these are like my most grabbed tools. So I've got my turpentine, black oil. I started using clove oil to help save my paints, because I will save not the mixtures of my paints, but I save my paints like the piles that are pure from the tube that I don't end up using. And clove oil is supposed to help like stop a film from going over the paint, so they stay fresh longer. I haven't tried it enough. These are sketchbooks that I'm currently working in. These art books are more not on the individual artist, but on different things like composition and anatomy, art history, that type of thing. And these windows are as close to near north as I got. And so this is the other painting. This is the one I'm going to be working on today, the back of it, because I'm not ready to show it yet. Yeah, so I still have a lot of space, see it from this angle, that I can step back from this painting while I'm working on it, which is great, 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 great. You definitely see more things when you can be super close to the painting and as far back as possible. So I was a bit ambitious with these two large paintings for the studio size that I had before, but it's great that they're still in progress, so I can make changes so they look great when they'll be displayed, hopefully how they should be, where you have a lot of space that you can step back from it. This is another work in progress. This is a drawing. It's actually covered right now with tracing paper to protect it during the move. Oh my gosh, I can't pull it off all the way. But I'm excited to get working on this one again. So I've got 3 paintings, I guess, in progress. 2 big ones. This one's pretty medium size for me. I've got the canvas like right behind it that I'll be working on. But this one was more based off of that. If you like when you're somewhere like a party or something and you catch someone's glance, or even if you catch your own glance in a hanging mirror, and it's like that pause, and it kind of like takes you out of the situation you're in into like this different feeling with this eye contact. It's hard to describe, but I definitely see it in the image. So, which is why I'm making an image of it. And then, yeah, so I've got the drawing on the tracing paper over top of it that I can transfer it to my canvas. So I'll do that someday. Oh, this is the cool frame that my friend Tudor made me that I still need to put a painting inside. I've got my reference material for the Solomon J. Solomon copy when I work on it. And then this right now is where I'm storing my light box. Get that out. This is my light box. How my studio was set up before is I had one well, I had one set of windows that were north light, and so I would do setups from that so I could paint from natural light. And then I had this that I made for artificial light, which is a light box, which I'll probably make a separate video showing this if anyone else is interested. I really like working from it. I think it works really great. It's pretty inexpensive. It's a box that I cut the front off, put tracing paper on top of it that got a bit damaged in the move, so I'm gonna have to repair it a little bit. And cut in the back, I have 3 clip lights clipped on the back. So I've got 3 lights that when you turn it on and the tracing paper really softens the look of it. And I can't remember exactly, I'll have to open it up, but I believe I have 2, well, it's 3 lights, and I think they're all varying temperature, so I kind of get that variety to it. And then I've got in here stored some other paintings and such. This is actually, these inside of this box as well is all of these elements that are inside this painting right here, which this painting has so much stuff in it. So this painting has so much stuff in it. So there's like a figure element. There's also this like giant still life element to it. I talked about it in previous videos. When I show the painting when it's finished and I'm able to show it, I'll definitely talk way more about it. But it's been interesting working from it. From some parts were from life or started out from life, like the model I drew from life, like a quick gesture thing, and then did a lot of like photo reference for that. Everything else was from life. But then we moved, so then I didn't have the painting finished, so I took a bunch of photos from all different light situations, from like cloudy, it was lit with natural light, so from cloudy days, rainy days, sunny days. So I've got all these different things, and then so I've got in the closet, I've kept one of each of all the different objects in the painting. So if I need to reference something like texture-wise to see, or if the photograph isn't giving me what I need, I can always reference stuff from that. So that's the plan. So I'm gonna get set up right now and start painting this guy back here, and we're gonna see how that goes. This is the first day working in the studio. Okay, so I'm setting up my painting now, flipping it over, and taking some steps back and just looking at it and trying to make my game plan for what I want to do. It's been a bit since I worked on it, so I like take out all my reference material, that's what those books are, and then the photograph references on my computer and some printouts, and just trying to see what I want to change and make better. I'm kind of not happy with the background and other elements with it, so I'm just trying to decide exactly what I want to do for the day. So I like to kind of like sit and meditate on it for a while and then get set up. So I'm preparing my palette, getting my paints out ready, organizing my paints and getting everything ready, and then you can just see me doing my thing where it's like a lot of pacing, walking forwards and backwards from my viewpoint right up to the painting to make painting marks.